What's the line again?
And this all started just because of a kissing booth.
That's it. That's the intro. I think that's it.
Okay, yeah, that works.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Here's the first movie.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Peel that pig and slice him thick.
The body count is always bigger.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
And the fucking trees walked in those movies.
Hi, doggy.
What a story, Mark.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Life moves pretty fast.
If you want your sequel to become a franchise.
37 dicks.
In a row?
I'm your #1 fan.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Marathon Me with your hosts, Rhys.
And Kane.
And don't panic, everyone. Even though that we are in the middle of our current Friday the 13th marathon, we thought to give you all a bit of an intermission for something very different.
Yeah, something very near and dear to our hearts. You know, Friday the 13th, that's like whatever. We're talking about some real cinema today.
So, there's like 12 Friday the 13th movies, right? Yeah. So, we didn't want, like, I feel like it could get stale very quickly.
Yeah,
so,
it'd be like 3 months, basically, of like Friday the 13th content. We decided to, like, we agreed that we would space it out a little bit.
Need a bit of variety and something that is completely out of the water. And something that is also fresh about this episode is that we've got a special guest here today.
We do.
We have a special guest co-host in the form of Charli.
Hi. Hi.
It's her first time podcasting, so she's just a little bit shy. But don't worry, she's very passionate about the movies that we're going to be talking about.
Very, very passionate.
And she'll be here for the entire franchise. There's only 3 of them.
Oh god, there's only 3. Felt like there was
Thank God.
fucking 12 of them.
Yeah, I freaking know, right? But it only makes sense to me to have Charli here because I watched the first one with her. And she does not remember this.
Was this
Not all.
Was this when it came out? Because like it came out 2018, right? This movie, right?
Was it right after it came out?
I feel like it was quite close to when it came out.
Yeah, I probably watched it, thought, this is a shit movie. I absolutely need to force Rhys to watch it.
Yeah,
that makes
exactly.
sense. That sounds like something I would do, even though I have no memory of us watching it.
Yeah, I love the fact that like you made Rhys like watch like movies that you agree are shit. Meanwhile, Rhys would show you good movies, and then you would still say that they were
Well,
shit.
our movie taste is so different that
It's
it is
different
so
that yours
funny.
is garbage.
And yeah, mine is garbage. Like, literally the worst movies ever. I love them. But then Rhys will show me movies that are actually good, and I will hate them. So I think that's why, like, our dynamic works so well.
Clearly we got someone with great taste on the podcast today.
Yes, excellent.
I have access to Charli's Netflix and can see her list and her like watch again or continue watching list,
my God.
and it is bad. It's typical Netflix original sort of like teen dramas or like you've gotten really into like international.
Yes,
like,
to be fair, a lot of them aren't in English, so that surely gives me some sort of variety.
Yeah, you know.
It shows that you're able to watch stuff with subtitles. A lot of people are very opposed to subtitles, so you're a bit. You got that above some
Imagine if
others.
you had said that, and I was just like, actually, I watch it dubbed.
Oh my goodness!
Because you watch Elite and what other.
There's
what
Love
sort of
101, which is a Turkish show, and I fucking love it so much.
Interesting. Is it a show with a lot of sex in it?
No, actually.
Okay.
Shockingly enough,
Because like I feel like a lot of those like shows that you
Elite
talk about.
does. Elite has heaps of sex in
Oh,
it.
of course it does.
Yeah,
of course.
but like, whatever. That's women's porn.
So this I think is a great way to frame Charli and get you guys introduced to who she is.
Yeah, and
She's just got shit taste.
Yeah,
She's just full of shit. And here is our and here we're exploring this genre of teen romance Netflix original sort of thing. And I think that we should go and show you a bit of the trailer. Here it is.
Elle, let's go. We're gonna be late for school.
9th grade pants and 11th grade body. Perfect.
I'm Elle, and that's my best friend Lee.
Oh, is that the wrong color?
We've been besties since the day we were born. How have we stayed so close? We have a set of rules. Like rule number 2, never tell anyone else our secrets. Or rule number 9, Lee's older brother Flynn, he's stupid hot, but totally off limits.
When did you get the boobs?
Oh, and rule number 10, never ever break rule number 9.
What an ass.
I know.
You got a little bit of drool right there in the corner.
Right here?
Yeah.
Do I really?
Okay, the student council is expecting our idea for the fundraiser today.
Kissing booth!
Would Flynn be working in the kissing booth? Absolutely. Flynn will be there. I promise. Flynn's still doing the booth?
So, will you work the kissing booth?
Absolutely not.
Awesome.
You have zero experience with guys. You've never even had a boyfriend.
Whatever.
How about a ride?
Where's your car? What? I'm not gonna get on that thing like one of your makeout girls.
They don't all make out with me. Okay, so like 95% of them make out with me.
Wow, that trailer was only like not even 3 minutes, like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It felt like 2 hours. We watched like half of it before recording, and Rhys was just like, I've seen enough, let's just turn it off.
It's like, we get the concept.
Yeah, we get it. We literally just watched this movie 4 days ago as well.
No, we wanted to watch all of them in a row, but it worked out that we watched on one night the first one and the first half of the second one.
Yeah, so
and then
scuffed.
Today we watched the second half of the second one and the third one, and Jesus fucking Christ.
It's ridiculous. We'll complain more about the second one when we get to it, but wow, that's a long movie. And this one, I think this one's the shortest, I think.
This one's like standard hour and like 35 minutes.
Yeah,
it still felt like it still felt like it went on forever. By the way, did we even introduce the movie that we're talking about? I feel like we haven't.
Oh.
Well,
by the way, guys, we're actually watching The Kissing Booth.
Yeah,
The Kissing Booth.
Yeah, the
Netflix
Kissing Booth.
original.
Yeah. I know you guys are looking forward to the rest of the Friday episodes, but we're interrupting it for The Kissing Booth. Just completely like on the same level of quality.
3 of the greatest movies of all time.
If
you know, you know The Kissing Booth.
Oh,
It's one of those things. It's like if you look at someone, mention the name, and they get it, then you get them.
Exactly.
You get a different layer of them.
You will be kindred spirits if you both get The Kissing Booth.
So let's just get straight to it. Do people like this movie?
Define like.
Yeah, exactly. I liked the experience of watching it with you guys. It's a garbage movie.
It seems like that's like the popular opinion, right? Is that like it is?
Yeah.
It's like mass sort of hated because it is pretty damn bad.
Yeah, unless you're like 14 years old, you will love like if you're 14, you will love this movie. But like unironically, I mean.
I think you would like it if you watched it before going to high school. Like, you have
this is what high school's like?
This is what high school's like.
Yeah,
like,
true.
it's this awkward, it's this awful, like, it's this amazing. Like, you're gonna get the man of your dreams.
It's this
blah, blah, blah.
oversaturated in terms of the colour and uniforms, because everyone's dressed in, like, blue and yellow.
Oh my goodness, don't even get me started on the uniforms. I can't live with this.
Their colour scheme is, like, it matches my primary school colour scheme, because we wore blue and yellow stuff. And it is the most oversaturated looking... it made me sick looking at it.
I'm still angry about the fact that they make a whole drama of, like, Elle, like, wearing this really fucking small skirt in the first, like, scene or whatever. And then later on in the movie, this is a non-issue. She actually has, like, 8 skirts that she can wear throughout the year. But for some reason in this scene... Because
everything else was at the cleaners.
Everything was else. The
raised
cleaners at the start of the school year.
That was
Are you fucking kidding me?
That was a fantastic point that you raised. Why are they cleaning it now at the end of the freaking after the holiday period? It doesn't make any sense.
Are you telling me that it took 3 months to clean this pair of pants?
I mean,
exactly.
They've got a lot of. I mean, look, they're like rich upper class LA white people.
The third count is high.
Yeah, exactly. They have a lot of clothes to wash. You know, it just took a while.
The biggest problem that I have with this movie is just with how elevated the fantasy of it all is, right?
My Lord.
Nothing feels real. Everything feels so fake and freaking plastic.
But like that's like kind of the Netflix original brand though. Like it's like you've seen plenty of you guys have seen plenty of the Netflix original films.
I try not to.
I was gonna say I feel like that's not something you guys would watch.
I try not to, but like back when I was in a relationship, we'd watch them, and sometimes I'd be like, this looks awful, I want to watch this, and then I'd immediately regret my decision, and they all blend together. You know, your Sierra Burgess is a loser, To All the Boys I Loved Before.
Are you just naming Noah Centineo movies?
Well, yes, but also they are all Netflix originals as well.
But I do definitely get you, man. They all feel like they're assembly line movies.
Yeah.
Like, made for a very particular audience to get them to attract their eyeballs, and that's it.
Yeah, literally. Like, we seem to have left the era of, like, the teen kind of, the like teen drama, romance drama kind of stuff, and now we're kind of getting to the more like teen-oriented, quirky, weird stuff, like with Wednesday, for example.
Oh, okay.
How it's just like faux goth and all that, just to like attract like the alternative crowd.
No,
where
I
it just
do
feels
love
so
I
fake.
do love the word quirky, just because like I think it's such a cringy word. Like that's your way of saying you're cringy as fuck.
Oh,
or like
my God.
if you're like this is a quirky movie, or they were trying so hard for it to be a quirky movie, an awkward, gross movie, and realistically they definitely got that.
Yeah,
like
they did.
Elle and Lee are the quirky characters, but they're not. I feel like that in a real environment, they would be very standard. But the only reason why they're quirky in this environment is because everyone else is so plastic and by the numbers.
Everyone is so boring.
Yeah, everyone
really.
is so boring and empty.
What are you talking about? There's so many lovable side characters in this movie.
Oh man,
The side characters are a problem in itself.
There's a whole lexicon and rogues gallery of the kissing booth side characters that are consistent throughout the entire franchise.
The kissing booth pantheon, I like to call it.
I think that we should sort of like go through our main players of this movie.
Sure. Let's start with the woman in charge, Elle.
Yes. What do people think of Elle?
Charlie, you want to take this one?
I absolutely hate Elle.
Oh, what? No!
I know, right? That's so crazy for me. Normally, it is common that I don't like the main female character in any movie.
Or
really.
you don't like women?
Or I just hate women in general.
Charlie's an incel?
I feel like in no movie has anyone ever written a female character that I've actually liked them. Never has this happened.
No way.
I know.
Yeah, bullshit.
So
There's got to
crazy.
be one at least.
Okay, you name some.
Name some women.
Name some women.
Name women.
And I'll tell you why I hate them.
But okay, this is the weird thing though. Is
That's
that when
so broad though.
When I'm trying to think of like movies that we have both seen, there's not a lot of them.
There are
because we just look in totally different directions.
It's true. But anyway, Elle is like that character where there's nothing likable about her. They go through all of these like moments and such where it's revealed that Noah has done something to like interrupt her life or in some way like keeping guys from asking her out and all this stuff. But then they're also, while doing that, they're insinuating that so many guys are interested in this this person that has absolutely no personality, is not in their year level, is just fucking younger than them. Nothing is interesting about her except she's Elle, and apparently that's likable.
But that's the thing. That's why the fantasy is so elevated in this world where it's like Elle is the audience surrogate, right? Where like
surrogate?
Yeah, we're like as in these like 12 to 18-year-old girls are supposed to watch this movie and then be like, Elle is so me, and it's like, oh. Man, I believe too that behind all of what I can see at high school is that every boy wants to be with me.
I don't think that's good though, because then it just makes you kind of delusional in a way.
Or like, if you think about it, if you're a girl in high school and you just have this one moment where you're like, oh my god, the only reason why I don't have a boyfriend right now is because some guy is telling everyone not to go out
The
with
hottest
me.
guy in
The
school.
hottest guy in school is actually in love with me.
That's just weird, man. It just sets you up for disappointment. It sets your expectations way too high.
Well, it's because this is all a fantasy world and none of this is real.
Oh my god, are we going to play another game of would this hold up today? Like our
Would this hold up in 3 years? Yeah.
Well, do you remember in the montage at the start where she's going through like all of these like awkward moments of growing up where like some guy sneezes on her when she's supposed to have their first kiss, or like her finally fitting into a bra and stuff, and you feel like you're supposed to identify with her, but she's just so unlikable that you just physically can't. You can't even believe that she's actually a person.
You know what my favorite part of that whole montage was? Talking about like all of her awkward lives. Oh, I messed up my first kiss. I learned how to put on a bra. My mum died. But the tone that I had there, where I just completely just straight face it. That's how they do it in the montage.
No, the
and then they go
montage
right back into being like all holly jolly happy.
The montage was so wrong, so jarring. Like, it kept changing emotionally how you're supposed to feel.
Yeah, it's total whiplash.
Oh my god, I hated it.
The
It was
music,
just awful.
the music that's like, oh, kissing, oh, this, oh, bras, oh, mom's dead, and then it's like, and then I fell over one day again.
Yeah, oh my god, it's ridiculous. And that's like the first minutes of this movie. So
First, like, 5 minutes.
we already knew that we were in for hell.
And it's
hell on earth.
just a background detail that every 20 minutes in this franchise, they just feel like that they have to remind you, oh yeah, her mum's dead.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Her mum is dead.
I'm glad that they did that because I was starting to forget. There were points where I was thinking, oh, Molly Ringwald's character is her mother, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, the mother's dead. Never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
the movie's telling me this.
Yeah, thank God.
And not that it has not that it has much to actually do with the narrative.
No.
It just reminds us that is a background detail.
Yeah.
She's so quirky.
Yeah, exactly.
Her mum died. She's so quirky.
I think that's what they're trying to do, though, to make her relatable. To be like, see, she's gone through hard times. That's like what they're trying to do with that, right?
I guess, but like you wouldn't really get that if you didn't watch the opening of this movie. You would not get that because she doesn't really go through any hard times apart from stuff that she creates herself. The issues that she goes through in this movie are problems that she created herself. She is the villain in this movie.
Yeah, they can't really link it, like, the reasons why she does what she does. They can't link it back to her mum being dead. They can't make this... They can't...
She can't decide
there
with
is no
boy
line
because her mum's dead.
It's all of her fault because of trauma.
It was just completely irrelevant to the plot until, like, the third one. But, like, still.
My lord, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
A very important thing to see in this film, which is very interesting because I think it's a very big cultural trend in media, is also how privileged all of these characters are. Yeah. You look at the house that Elle's best friend Lee and like Noah live in, and this is like a freaking mansion.
Yeah,
like
it looks like a compound that like Scarface would live in.
Yeah, that is like a $20 million home, and they also all go to this like private school. They're all like freaking Lee. He got his license, then got his dream car.
Yeah, he got like a bloody I don't know cars. I don't know what the hell
he got like a nice like retro convertible, right? Yeah. And like for his first car, my first car, I got for $3,500 off of Facebook Marketplace because I'm like, it runs and it's yellow and that's interesting.
Oh my god,
it's
Rhys,
much
you're
better.
so quirky.
Yeah.
He really
exactly.
is quirky.
I'm just I'm quirky than these guys.
It's just like a Wes Anderson character, bro. He's so quirky.
You know what? If you had more money, you would have a different car.
I disagree. I think that I would have that car, even if I did have more money.
Yeah, I cannot agree with that.
I feel like you would have gone like a car similar to that, just maybe like something more ludicrously like out of left field.
More ridiculous, like a mystery machine or something.
Yes, you absolutely.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I could absolutely see you driving one of those vans, like from that '70s show or something.
Oh,
like one of those
so
really
yes.
old-looking like weed bands.
Yeah,
I would love that
completely.
If I had money and a license,
that is a good contributing factor.
I would just instead of getting a car, I would just get an RV. I would just drive around in an RV.
I could see you on a Vespa.
I really want a Vespa.
Yeah, I could see you on a Vespa.
What a contrast though, RV and Vespa.
Yeah. Well, I want a Vespa because Vespas are so cool, and then I want an RV because I love Breaking. I've been on a bit of a Breaking Bad fixation recently.
So you want to cook drugs in the middle of the desert?
I mean,
way to go.
I like the desert, so you know, it'd be a nice place to hang out. You know, with the boys, cooking meth with the boys. You know,
and you can fund like running that RV because an RV would not be cheap.
No, exactly.
It would use a lot of petrol and also just like getting in the first place.
I'll post on my Instagram story just being like, yo, we out here hustling, out here chef at work, let's go.
I would absolutely love for you to have a car, because I feel like the conversations that we would have about you complaining about petrol prices would be so fun to me.
Yeah.
I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, that's kind of why I haven't like really bothered to get a car and all that.
Because you don't want to have conversations with Charli.
Yeah, about fuel prices. I agree.
I hate talking to Charli.
Yeah,
oh my
I know.
Lord.
It's a real hassle to me. I say like a lot.
I say like a lot as well.
Yeah.
No,
I haven't been noticing many likes this podcast, so good job.
Well, just wait. Just listen for it and you'll find it.
No, only hear it.
I shouldn't have said that. Now everyone that's listening
is
exactly.
Oh my god, cut it out.
Keeping their count. Okay, so Elle, I don't think is as bad as you guys think.
Yeah. Are you serious?
Are you
talking about this movie or like this movie specifically or in general?
I think in this movie specific, like she's flawed because she's like she hasn't sorted stuff out. A lot of these characters I don't think are like intentionally bad or like being malicious or like it's like, oh come on.
They're not intentionally bad. That wasn't like the
some of them do.
Well, yeah, but like I feel like the writers were trying to make them all like likable and all that, but all the characters, they're not good. They're not good people. They're all morons.
Elle hasn't figured out yet that like it's a lot easier to get through life without lying to everyone about everything that occurs in your life.
Quite literally.
Yeah, I think that's like her main issue, right?
I guess, yeah.
And then her best friend Lee, you guys seem to hate him.
I
despise Lee.
I think he's whatever in this movie. He just really gets under my skin in the next two.
Okay, well, my whole like, I hate Elle, obviously. Lee, I just dislike.
Oh, okay.
Lee, I dislike greatly. But I think that in this movie, the scene where he, like, finds out about Elle and Noah, that scene says so much about his personality and so much about him. And I hated the way he handled that whole situation. And him immediately, like, thinking that Noah bashed her. Like,
oh my god,
straight away, he was just like, did you bash her?
Yeah.
Did you do this?
Did you hurt her?
Yeah. He has such an annoying jealousy complex in these movies. It really gets under my
ridiculous.
skin. So it's possessive. It's almost possessive in a way. It's
just
like
toxic.
Yeah.
It's like a toxic friendship.
Yeah, it really doesn't. It gets under my skin, man.
So this is all of where the freaking issues
Rhys
come.
Rhys is on the other side of the jury trying to bro think he's Saul trying to defend
I'm ready.
him.
Because Lee is just a man-child. He is not grown up past the point of being...
man-child.
He's not even a man... Like, the man part of that. He is just still a child.
He's a boy.
And then, he thinks that those rules that are made between him and Elle are cement.
Yeah.
Are freaking cement.
I would just like to say that if those rules, however many there are, I can't remember, if those rules weren't in their friendship, the movie would go on exactly as it does.
Probably,
like, if they took them out, it would work out the exact same way. Like, you would just automatically assume, you can't fuck my brother.
Yeah, that's like, that kind of like goes without saying with friends.
Obvious. And then all the other friendship rules that they have, that's just common sense. Common fucking
literally.
sense.
It's like rule number 2: don't tell anyone our secrets. It's like, that's nothing specific. That's not special. That's like courtesy.
These guys, they figured out a fine craft to friendship.
Oh yeah,
because it works out so well for them.
They
exactly.
cracked the code. Yeah,
because they're such good friends.
They don't fight ever.
They wrote the textbook on friendship.
Yep, they wrote the book. From the creators of the Book of Love comes the Book of Friendship. Oh my lord.
Yeah, and what I disagree, because I think that why he is so hurt is because they have made a big deal out of don't date someone like that we're related to, and they made such a big deal about that, made that promise to each other explicitly, and then it was broken, and then it was hidden from him. I think that's what it is. And then also the jealousy is there, that it's like, you would rather spend time and be with my brother than be honest with me, and also, like, go by the rules that we have set in our friendship.
Look, in a way,
and it's like putting something above their friendship.
Look, in a way, I actually do agree with you that, like, I get the whole, like,
this is recorded.
I get the whole, like, jealous. I get, like, what the whole jealousy complex, because, like, in the film he also specifies that he feels inferior to his brother. Yeah. Because Noah gets, like, all the attention. He's, like, the hot one and all that, and so obviously he'd feel a lot of jealousy towards that, and I understand it. But I think why he really gets under my skin is because Lee does not grow as a character in these movies, I feel. Like,
absolutely.
In this, like, if he was the way he is in this one and then became a different person in the next two, I'd be fine with him. But he doesn't really change, honestly. He's still a man-child in all three of them. And I get what they're trying to do with, and I get what they try to do with him, because he's 16 or that. Obviously, he's still going to have childlike tendencies.
He's 16?
They're all... I think so.
No, they're 18 in the first one.
Are they?
No.
It's her 18th birthday.
No.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Are they? No, they're in year 11. They're in year 11.
But she turns 18 in the first one. It's their 18th birthday.
Is it?
Yep.
Maybe. I think you might be right. Well, anyways, whatever.
Okay.
They're still at an age where they're still growing and learning and all that. But, like, he doesn't grow really as a person. He's like, in the next movie, he just becomes a bigger dunce. Like, with a full-on dunce cone on his head.
There's a lot I can say about Lee, but it goes on into the second movie.
Okay,
then
we'll
talk about it then.
We'll do our character update.
Yeah.
Do you like Elle more?
We'll deconstruct them. We'll deconstruct them. Yeah.
Because I think, like, in this one, that if Elle... Because we do see that when Noah and Elle get together, he is fine with that, seeing that they both love each other, and then it's not an issue anymore, right? So it is not fundamentally that you shouldn't fuck my brother. It's the hiding of it and the like spending time with him in replacement of like the severity and how good their friendship is.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that if Elle told him, I have these feelings for your brother, and these rules we made when we were fucking 6 years old.
Yeah,
I think that they're a bit outdated because now we're adults.
How come we never made a rules list, Reese?
Because we weren't children. Yeah, we weren't. We were born.
Yeah,
we were born
like
adults.
11.
We were born as 20-year-olds.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. No, but like because I hate rules. I hate rules like that.
What do you mean you hate rules? You're like one of the most structured people I know.
I hate formal rules like that though.
So,
no, I get you.
So are you like a non-believer in like girl code and like, you know, bro code?
You don't believe in
okay.
bro code, so you'll have sex with someone. You'll fuck someone's ex.
No. Completely. No. He would never do that. But like, he would be that person that would be so angry about how a situation is handled, not the act itself.
I definitely see that.
How it's wrong, which is like leads back to like to this movie where if she had told him immediately once like things were maybe possibly going to happen, then the whole outcome would have been completely different. Even though like after she kisses like Noah, immediately Leah's just like, haha, that's so funny, do it again and I'll never talk to you again.
Yeah.
Pretty much, because he's a child.
Yeah.
But like
quite literally.
in you saying that like the reason why Lee is so upset is because like she didn't tell him and blah blah, she's putting her friendship of like their friendship below Noah in a way. Like realistically, all the times that they are spending time together, it's because it's at the same time that Lee is spending time with his girlfriend. Only I feel like Lee doesn't love his girlfriend as much.
Well, that becomes
they love each other.
That's
true.
That's the thing that like
because the friendship will always be above his
the
relationship.
whole Lee's girlfriend thing. I
she
think we
doesn't feel the
need.
same way.
We need to save that whole plot point for number 2 because that's when it becomes a bigger deal.
Absolutely.
I actually was thinking that while watching the first movie, I'm thinking like, wouldn't Lee's girlfriend get jealous that he's spending all his time around like his female friend and all that, and not enough with his actual girlfriend? But that's a can of worms we'll get into next episode.
That's a movie too, for sure.
Most of Lee's issues, they tie back to thinking that these friendship rules were etched into stone by Jesus Christ himself.
When Moses was holding the 12 commandments, they were just the 12 friendship rules.
Thou shalt not fuck Noah. That's it.
I agree, dude.
It was one of the 10 commandments, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree as well.
So, that's why I can sort of like, I sort of see that.
Okay.
And this is an example of like these rules, these formal rules, like not applying to me, and I hate that. And that's why issues come up, because it's like a lot of these rules are developed from convention, social convention, not because of logic. It's like because obviously Lee wants Elle to be happy, right? Wants his brother to be happy. So if they are both in love with each other, that rule should not be there. What logical thing, like what logic actually makes that rule that you cannot date my brother?
Well, I think like the whole reason that rule was established is, like I said earlier, it's like how he feels inferior to his brother, so he has to have like one above him, you know, like he's like, you get everything you want. This is the one thing you can't have, Noah. You cannot have my best friend.
Yeah, well, that's how he like justifies himself, like when they do their big fight scene or whatever.
Their big fight scene.
Fucking nothing happens, but like it's a fight scene.
Yeah.
And like he's
Lee
just
getting
like
restrained to the ground.
Yeah. Like, Elle, this is like the only thing that I have that he doesn't is you. And like you took that away from him, and that's I feel like that's why he's angry, not even because of what's actually happening. Yeah. He's just mad that like someone has something.
It ties back to the sibling jealousy complex, because you know we all have siblings, and we've all had like, you know, jealousy complexes one point or another towards our, you know, siblings. And I almost said significant others for a second.
Our significant others.
That would not have gone well. That would not have gone well.
None of us have one of those.
What's it called? No, but it like, you know, we've all had like our spats with our siblings and, you know, being jealous, or like, you know, like I'm pretty sure at one point we've all thought that like our sibling gets everything they want and you feel shafted. You know what I mean? Like I felt that I've felt that a lot with my brother when we were like younger and all that.
I feel like Rhys probably has no idea what that we absolutely would.
Yeah,
we would.
I was actually gonna say like Rhys.
You just don't get it, Rhys.
I should have said earlier like Rhys, you probably wouldn't really get it because, you know, you and Patrick are like two peas in a pod and all that. I could never imagine you guys like having spats.
Your age difference absolutely plays a massive part in that.
Completely,
like
definitely.
where you could not possibly compare yourself to
Yeah.
him.
'Cause,
when I was 10, he was 20. When when I was 5, he was 15.
What's the age gap between you and your sister?
2 years.
Okay, so it's like me and my brother.
Yeah.
It's like me and my brother Nick, and then my other brother Josh. We're like wait, what are we? Oh no, we're 5 years. We're 5
How
years.
old is Josh?
We're
He's
5.
actually.
How old am I?
How old am I really? Oh, I'm turning 23 this year, so that's scary.
So am I. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I know.
Let's never talk about that ever again.
Yeah.
Moving on to other characters, like Noah.
Oh,
yes!
Yes!
I love this.
Jacob
Okay.
Elordi, let's go. Nate
on.
Jacobs,
Oh my-
boys!
please, God. I get so mad, and I said this before, but I'm just so mad that Kane knew him as Nate Jacobs before Noah. That annoys me so much, because this came out first. This was his start, his cringiest fuck movie before he, like, you know,
Like kind of
gets better.
rose to stardom and
Gets
all that.
the better
Look,
film.
here's the thing. I had not seen Kissing Booth. I knew he was in it, but like I knew him more as the sociopath in wait, what's it called? Euphoria.
Yeah.
And
He's a sociopath in this too. I don't know.
well, yeah, no,
what he is.
he is. Like, especially the scene where he slams his hand on the car, going like, "Go to the car, Elle." Like, I was like, "Ooh, your Nate Jacobs is showing, Jacob."
No, I would just like to say that, like, in this movie, one of the things that I have a big problem with in Noah's character is that it's never explained why he is so angry and why he gets in fights all the time. Like, there is no reason for this.
Very good.
There is absolutely no evidence to back this up as to why he is. Like, Lee is the way that he is, like, because Noah, like, you know, is the star, like, blah, blah, blah. But Noah, like, where did he get all this anger from? Like, what is he angry about?
Because he has a good home and all that. Good home, loving parents. Like, if he was getting... Like, if this was, like, Euphoria and, like, you know, his dad was beating him and all that, I'd understand his rage. And, like, in Euphoria, it makes sense.
Like, he's smart and he got into Harvard. He, like, is good at footy. Like, blah, blah. Good at footy. Like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
He has all of these great things. He has heaps of friends. He has all these girls that want him and blah, blah, blah. What is he angry about? There's no defining thing. Oh my God. Do you have something?
He's angry about not being able to have Elle for his entire life. That's what he's angry about.
Yeah, but then, like...
That's so stupid,
But
though.
he probably doesn't even know... He probably doesn't, like, have any idea that that's even a rule.
Well, yeah, well, of course he wouldn't know.
It would never be brought up in front of him, I'm certain.
True. Maybe. Yeah.
Well, I think also, like, for a while, like, he probably, like...
Me being devil's advocate, by the way. Wait, me trying to find something.
No,
I
throughout
really
the whole
appreciate that.
time we watched this movie, Rhys was like, Rhys was trying to explain to Charli, you know, like, things about this movie that work, and I was just, like, so checked out. I was like, dude...
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, but...
I literally told you to shut the fuck up, because I was just like, this is Naked Mile all over again, man.
You
this
trying
is
to
Naked
say
Mile.
that this was such a female empowering movie? It made me so angry.
Let me justify myself later.
I don't even need you to. I just think you're wrong.
We'll let the audience decide that one.
I have my arguments.
Who won? Who's next? You decide.
Who won in this fight, not the other one?
Lord.
And then, like, the only other real main character, right, would be Rachel, who is Lee's girlfriend.
Yeah, but she's kind of a nothing character in this movie, really. She's just
all
the
of
girlfriend.
the minor characters are, like, nothing.
Well, she gets a bit to do in the second one, like
like
her
for
stuff,
sure.
which we'll get to. But like, in this one, she's introduced like during the titular kissing booth segment of the movie, and like literally goes up on stage because like Lee was on stage, and no one wanted to kiss him because he's a fucking man-child. And then she goes up there being like, you know, oh, I feel sorry for this little small bean. I'll go up and kiss him. And then like they get together, and it's just
and they
like
fall
immediately,
in love.
like they actually like they go to just hang out immediately.
It's like a Disney movie, man.
One thing that makes me so mad about this kissing booth is because
you never
he
were in a kissing booth.
He took the fucking mask
off.
And this made us all equally so mad that he took it off, immediately kissed. Like, this is the one chick that he kissed. Imagine if he had kissed more than one person and he just kept taking off.
Oh my lord!
His fucking blindfold.
It's like, imagine, like, you know, like how in Eyes Wide Shut they all wear this all like the orgy cult and they wear masks. Imagine if they took the mask on during that whole during like parts of that movie. This is ridiculous. You can't do that.
Like Elle did the same thing.
Every main character,
me so mad.
Every main character did the same
just
thing.
Just ruined the kissing booth. You guys organized that shit. You made the rules.
It's like that bit in It's Always Sunny when they find the glory hole in the toilets, and then they put like a viewing slider in the stall, and like I think it was like Frank or no, it was Dennis. I was like this kind of no, it was Dennis. He was like it was Frank. No, I don't. Well, fuck it. It was one of them that said like the viewing slot kind of defeats the purpose of anonymity with the whole glory hole thing. I just thought about that right now. I was like, hey, that's a good way to connect these two.
Man, I love how you connected in 5 minutes the kissing booth to Eyes Wide Shut and Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Great connection.
Oh, I know. All top tier.
Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about.
One awful movie, one of my favourite shows, and one movie I've never seen.
Yeah. Well, Rachel is just a plot device in this one, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not until later.
Yeah, nothing character. Very pretty, though.
As like...
Gorgeous girl.
As a film, I didn't hate this that much going through it, in the way of like, it was, like the actual structure of the film, it's very linear and very simple. Like it's just one thing going on, and it's just, you can turn off your brain hardcore in this.
Oh no, definitely. Like this is very I think the most by the numbers entry in this series, because especially like in terms of story layout, because it's just a very simplistic story in this one, something that the later films kind of get a bit overboard with.
I do think it's really funny because you could absolutely mute this movie and know exactly what's happening throughout the whole thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And we like proved this in the third one, where we changed the language.
First Italian and then Spanish.
Spanish, and we still knew exactly what was happening. Obviously, I did. I've seen it before, but like, and
we do because we know codes. We know the codes and conventions of rom-coms.
It's so conventional that like it was just so obvious what was happening, what was being said, all this drama that was completely irrelevant. They could take out like 80% of this movie and it would still be the same movie.
Oh no, quite literally. It would still end the same way.
We have not even mentioned that this is a Wattpad movie, correct?
Yes. Iconic, based off the iconic works of a Wattpad novella, which is amazing.
Brilliant.
Something that, what a translation, right? What an adaptation to go from Wattpad to the screen to the big screen.
If Wattpad movies can get made on the big screen, why can't Netflix give us a deal, Reese, and make a big screen version of Season? Marathon Me the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love to watch that.
It
would just be Seasons Part 2. I do think that it's like, it's interesting that this is a Wattpad movie or like a Wattpad book, and it was made as a Netflix movie. Most Wattpad books actually are Wattpad made.
Yeah.
Like, they have their own studio or whatever.
Oh,
so, like, the After books, for example, they were Wattpad, and they were made by Wattpad.
The movie?
The movie was made by Wattpad, whereas this was made by Netflix. So, I don't really know.
Did you say After or Arthur?
After.
Okay, because you said no, because I
the book's about Harry Styles.
I know about those. I thought you said Arthur, like the Arthur the Aardvark, and I'm like, okay, so Wattpad writers wrote in him punching DW.
Absolutely,
exactly.
That's exactly what I would say. I would definitely.
Look, that was a blunder on my part. Alright, look, my hearing's going in my old age.
Me, the person that watches only shit films, would definitely say that.
Yeah, no, Arthur's pretty great though.
And I, for the most part, enjoyed my experience with this film, but it was because it's like, this is a movie to watch with people around you.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
If I watched this by myself, I would probably kill myself. But with people around you, it's a nice social activity.
Yeah, it's definitely like a movie to like I agree that like it's a garbage movie, but I had a lot of fun watching this.
I wish I was drunk.
I wish we were all drunk.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. No, but like watching this movie was a great experience. But yeah, I agree, watching it because I've watched like shitty movies by myself that like are made to be watched with mates, and I'll be like, I want to die. I want to die. Like what's it called? Like I remember I watched Shallow Hal. Like a year or two ago.
That's just an awful movie.
And I was, because like I wanted to watch something that was like an early 2000s. I love early 2000s comedies because they're so like in poor taste, a lot of them. And I love Jack Black, so I watched it, and I wanted to paint the walls with my brains, man. It was awful.
Like, this wasn't that painful to sit through.
No,
I don't think it was that painful.
I think if you were by yourself, I feel like it'd be just a little bit more painful for me at least, definitely.
Like you know how Tinker has suggested the 24-hour movie experiment, correct? correct?
Yeah.
So our mate Liam Tinker, he wants us to at some point get together and watch the same movie over and over again in a row, continually for 24 hours.
Jesus
so
Christ.
This would be one of those that you would like. It would be difficult to live a stable, normal life after doing 24-hour movie experiment with the kissing.
Yeah, you would not
It would be the worst experience.
Yeah, you would not be the same person afterwards. You would be a damaged, broken individual.
Absolutely.
Maybe
You'd
after...
be like Jesse Pinkman at the end of Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Maybe I would hate Lee then. I would hate all of these characters so much.
Well, I already hate all of these characters
I already
without watching it for
loathe
24
all of
hours.
them. Oh, except good old Nate Jacobs. I love him. I love him. He's so cute.
The way that you just don't like this character.
I don't. We talk about him slamming
None
the
of
car
them
and screaming at Elle to get
none
in
of
the car.
them
My
are
heart was a flutter. I was like, oh my god, he's so
I just
dreamy.
can't get over the fact that his like secret spot is the fucking Hollywood
Oh,
sign. Are you kidding me?
my lord.
The green screen was just so unnecessary.
That is
Pick anywhere
that is
else.
Something else.
There's so much bad green screen in this.
Yeah,
The
but-
whole franchise.
Yeah, but like honestly, that's just kind of expected at this point with these like awful teen. I know it's Disney Plus, awful teen Netflix original films. Like you go into them, you know they're gonna be bad. Like you know that the production value, especially, is not gonna be anything to write home about. And yet, I was still disappointed.
Yeah.
It was just so bright. It was so like. It was too light.
It was disgusting how bright and colourful this movie
It was too much sun.
Yeah, it felt
Too much sun in California.
It kind of reminds me of like you remember like the Michael Bay Transformers movies, how everything is all like very glossy, very like overproduced, very like a lot of like high contrast colors and all that.
Yeah.
Kind of remind, but like in the Transformers movies, they were like very like shiny and dirty. And then bright colours as well. And then in this is way too pristine and clean and bright, kind of like bubblegum candy colours and all that. And I got the Transformers effect from this movie, and I was miserable because I hate the Michael Bay Transformers movies with a burning passion. I think effects-wise, incredible, but disgusting. And cinematography is one of the worst things about those movies. Disgusting.
Have you ever seen Twilight?
Mate, I will say this: the first Twilight movie, I love.
Yeah. So
I love
how do you
it
feel
looks.
about the lighting in that? Like the filter they've got on it.
The first one, I love it. I love the I love the blue filter.
That is really surprising.
I will defend it. I think the rest of the movies look garbage cinematography wise. I really enjoyed the blue filter. I think they should have kept it.
I would really enjoy watching this film with the blue filter on.
No, right?
Watching the kissing booth, but with the first Twilight blue filter.
I think like emotionally it would be so jarring.
I think
a little bit, yeah.
I think that Noah would seem so much more evil.
Yeah, he would seem like he's going to.
He is Nate Jacobs.
Yeah, he would probably try to drink Elle's blood, just like Ed would.
Yeah, I could see that.
That is a fascinating thing that I would want to witness.
Absolutely.
Oh my lord.
Do you guys mind if I talk about my defending of the theming of this film?
Yeah, here we go.
I guess.
Yeah,
okay.
As long as you're
guess.
okay with us saying that you're wrong.
Okay, it's inevitable.
Yeah, let's hear him out.
Okay, let's go.
I think the theming of this isn't that bad at the end. This was something that I did not think throughout the entire film at all. It was when the film was closing up that I was like, okay, I see where this is trying to go and what this is trying to say. I think that Elle throughout the entire film, you know, going into adulthood, she's just turned 18. It's like she hasn't taken control of her own life yet. And she's still dictated by these high school rules and these teenage rules, the rules that are written down and written in stone by her and her friend since they were a child. Still living by the same rules of a child now as an adult. And she's dictating her life around these men and what they want her to do. But in the end, she chooses herself and independence, symbolized by riding off into the sunset on her bike. We see her by herself.
His bike.
Yeah, his bike. Fair.
Nice correction.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fair.
Very attentive, Charli.
Thank you.
But she is by herself and she knows that she's going to be okay with Noah being gone. She knows that she's going to be okay with Lee, with this whole romance that has spawned. And she let herself decide. As this film as its own self-contained thing.
Yeah.
Because, unfortunately, with this franchise, to continue it, she has to forget that.
Yeah, she has to
immediately.
No, that's what I was. That's what my contradiction with what you're saying. Like, I get where you're coming from in terms of within that movie for sure.
Yeah.
But then when they open up the next one, they completely throw that to the fucking curb. Completely, like all that independence. Gone. Poof. Done.
Yeah.
Same with the third one, where they just completely threw out the second one just so they can make a third one, and it just is completely there's I don't even know how to describe
Which
it.
to me feels like major contradictions of the sequels, not a contradiction of the not a criticism. Sorry, major criticisms of the sequels. Where this film, as we have to imagine, right, in the dark ages of 2018, where The Kissing Booth was this one film, and that's all that existed of The Kissing Booth, and that's what I'm trying to put my brain into. That like as a self-contained thing. It's a good sort of message at the end.
I do, like, after hearing you out and all that, I do actually agree with you, because I was actually, while mulling over notes and all that, I was thinking to myself that, like, the ending is not that bad. Like, I think, like, the way the film wraps up is fine. It's just, like Charlie said, it's undone by the sequels. And I think that's one of the worst things a sequel can do, is when you undo the ending of the previous film, and then just go back to square one.
With the end of the first one, I mean, does it not, like, bother you that they come to that conclusion? That ending happens in, like, 2 minutes at the end. Like, you don't feel that way throughout the whole film until right at the end, when she has a stupid little monologue, and she's driving off into the sunset and blah, blah, blah. But anything before that, you don't feel that way.
I get you, but that's, like, the whole thing and the importance of an ending, right? Is that I do feel like it is building up to that slowly. But it was like, okay, the freaking dots connected in my brain in the last probably 10 minutes where I'm like, okay, I see where this is going, and I like this, where it's going, and it got there. And but it only could have happened from this flawed identity crisis that she's having throughout the film, right? Is for her to realize through all of this that despite these two boys, she is still herself and is justified and powerful for being herself without these men.
Yeah, she's not the town bike, you know. She finally broke out of that.
No, she still is. She's riding a bike.
She's riding the bike.
She's absolutely...
Oh, yeah, she definitely becomes the town bike in the next movie.
Oh, my God. No.
I still...
You need to explicitly say that you were taking the piss when you say things like this.
I'm not.
You're not taking the piss.
I'm not taking the piss. She's the town bike, mate.
She's absolutely the town bike.
This freaking slut shame over
She
here.
has slept with one man her whole life, but she's absolutely the town bike.
No. Jokes aside, no. I say town bike because that was a phrase that Rhys told me a couple of days before we started watching the first one. He told me the phrase the town bike.
That my housemate uses this term quite regularly.
I think it's the funniest way to say you're a slut. And now, throughout all these movies, we've just been saying it ironically.
It's funny.
It is fun. It is really, really fun.
I like it a lot.
Oh,
it's fun.
We're taking down masculine culture.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I'm still so confused as to how Noah got into Harvard. And
it's America, and Americans love their
money.
They love their shitty they love their shitty football.
He probably got suspended like 8 million times within his high school career.
He's getting into fights.
And then just fights a million.
Like
and surely his grades can't be that good. How did he get into uni? I don't understand, let alone Harvard.
Excellent question.
And then he isn't apparently studying football throughout college anyway.
He's just studying things.
So that
they don't say what he's doing.
Well, at the end of the third one, you find out what he's been doing.
What is he doing though?
He studied law.
Oh yeah, that's why I kept calling it
It's the final scene of the entire franchise.
That's
so
why
you
I
have
kept
no
calling it
idea
so
what
good,
this
man.
man is doing. So that, again, the ending, it doesn't quite like
the implicit messaging here is that it doesn't matter what you're going to study or what this like professional where your life is going, but what's important is boys.
I agree. That's all that's on my mind. I've got boys on my mind.
Exactly. That's what's important at this age.
Yeah, for real.
One opinion that we haven't spoken about, which is a very important opinion, is this friend of ours, Liam Tinker. Who was, just by sheer chance and not leaving this morning.
He did not watch the first one with us though, but he has seen it.
He has seen it. So he has seen the entire franchise despite the first half of number 2, because he just was along for the train ride today with the second half of number 2 and 3.
Yeah, and he's a better man for it now. He feels very enlightened.
I asked him to send me reviews, like 1-sentence reviews for each of the film, just so we can say them here.
Yeah.
So here's a little bit of Tinker time. Ooh. So for the Kissing Booth 1, what he says is, no one is redeemable, and Noah is a terrible person. 5 out of 7. And he is
5 out of 7.
5 out of 7. pretty damn good.
That's actually a really good.
That ranking doesn't make sense.
If he
That
said
upsets me.
if he said 5 out of 10, that would have meant it was worse. So he's actually saying it's better.
Well,
than 5.
Yeah, he's saying here 5 out of 7 is basically like a 7.5 out of 10.
Why couldn't he just say 7 out of 10? What's wrong with this man?
He rated all these out of 7.
Why?
And also,
Why would you do that?
I have here his ranking as well, and I think you're going to find that interesting.
Okay.
He has a weird score at the end of this. Number 3 is interesting. But anyway, that's what Tinker says.
Yeah.
But I think that he says no one is redeemable because he's not the biggest fan of women. This friend of ours, Tinker. So I think that Elle is totally redeemable. Cause she's taken control of her own life.
Look, in a way, in the first movie, kind of, but like, yeah, after watching the next two, I got so sick of her bullshit that it makes me now hate her in this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
it is difficult to try and isolate this film from the others, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's tricky, but I'm trying hard here.
He's trying hard. Mans was using film terms, talking about the kissing booth. This is like the last.
Yeah, is that not what all of us have been doing?
Yeah. I know. It's the kissing booth. This is like when you and I like talked for 30 minutes about that awful Roderick Rules animated film.
And I like that we are probably the deepest speakers of that film on the internet.
We're breaking new ground, baby.
Exactly.
Breaking new ground.
Are you guys ready for final thoughts? This is longer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't realize we'd have this much to say.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Maybe the other ones will be shorter. We don't
the
know.
other ones, please.
They're very deep movies, you know. There's a lot to unpack.
There's so much. We're trying to find the justification of making this film.
I feel like I've said my piece, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I said my piece.
I said what I had to say. That's it.
I put my cards down, you gotta live with them. Okay, my final take is really that I think that ultimately it's trying to say something, but it is it's one of those films that is made for a very particular demographic, churned out by a system, right? It doesn't feel like any sort of artistic merit is put into this.
Yeah, it's made for money.
I do think that the scriptwriters did want to say something to this group of people, right? Which is for these preteen to teenage women that, like, you may get caught up in all this teen drama and feeling like you're not in control of your life, but you can take control of your own life.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. I just wish it was in a better movie.
Oh, yeah, but having said that, I don't think it was done in the best way. It's not any, like, it's not a feminist piece of film in the same way that, like, Promising Young Woman is, or Little Women, or anything like that.
I love those movies.
I'd so much rather be watching Little Women right now.
There's ain't no Ladybird. Like,
I don't like Ladybird.
You don't like Ladybird?
No.
I think Ladybird's fine. I think it's a bit overrated, though, honestly. I like Little Women more.
Little Women was great, and then Promising Young Woman, great. Anyway, I will say on my last thoughts of this movie that I love to hate this movie. I hate this movie. It's just so bad, and while Rhys can justify it all he wants, it did not need to be made.
He can cope all he wants.
It did not need to be made. But I do. I find joy out of watching this movie.
Yeah.
I love to hate this movie.
Yeah, I basically have kind of the same opinion as Charli, where it's like I love watching like movies that are so bad they're good. Like they had that's like
my whole genre.
That's one of my
it's
one of my favorite genres of all time, and like I can definitely put this into the pantheon of films like obviously The Room, what other so bad? Selfie Dad.
Okay,
in the bin of just so bad they're good movies.
Troll 2, Chaosu.
I haven't seen Troll 2, so.
You slept on the couch when we were watching.
I fell asleep. Yes,
disappointing.
I know. I'm sorry, Charli.
So Charli, if you think this movie shouldn't be made, shouldn't have been made, do you think every movie that you like should not have been made?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Wait, what?
So, I think that every movie that I like does not need to exist.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So Little Women didn't need to exist.
Not that it doesn't, it shouldn't exist. I'm just saying it doesn't need to.
Okay,
It doesn't impact
the world.
It does not leave a message that we need to
You watch
see.
something that you like, this brings you joy, shouldn't exist. I don't deserve this joy.
I think logically,
You okay?
if it didn't exist, the world would still go round. I just don't think it needs to.
I think that this movie could change a little girl's life.
For better or for worse?
It changed my life.
For the better, potentially.
I hope so, man. I really hope so.
I just want to give a bit of context to the audience as well.
Expectations.
Charli has gone to film school.
Yeah, we got a film school student here, and she's saying that movies shouldn't exist that she likes.
Yeah.
No, okay, well, yes.
So she doesn't like movies that should exist.
I've
gone to film school. How bad was the uni experience, man?
I've walked right into this.
How bad was the uni experience to make you hate film?
I love this, though.
I have a Bachelor of Film, guys. Yeah, I know. Okay.
She's the most qualified on the podcast.
I know.
I am qualified
to
make a film.
He has the worst fucking taste and yet is the most qualified of all of us.
I mostly produced. Thanks, guys. But I think that because I have not pursued this career whatsoever since graduating, and I think that's because I came to the realization that I do not like good movies.
Clearly.
And if I were to make movies, I wouldn't want to make a good one. And I don't think that is worth it. I
don't want to put effort into something I'm passionate about.
I don't think that a movie I would make would need to be seen by anyone but me.
Well, I think that I had this realization, honestly, when you told this to me, that I thought about your film taste, and I thought these movies are still going to exist, and someone has to make them. Charli is one of those people.
Absolutely
should continue this cycle of making these things, these demographic
cycle of shit film.
Yes.
Yes, we will pay good money to see these.
You know, this is probably a great time for me to tell you guys that I have actually written Wattpad books before.
I'm not surprised.
You were way more qualified for this kissing booth marathon me.
Qualified.
I mean, I wouldn't call someone qualified. I wouldn't use the word qualified when talking about Wattpad writers. Okay, right? That's a lot of that shit's like 13-year-old girls writing smut shit.
I'm very embarrassed by this, but the fact that it has happened is so funny to me, and that one of the ones that I have written has over like 2 million reads.
What?
And so like.
You have not told me this.
You have not told us this.
I will even show you this. Not right now, but...
Yeah, we'll do a live reading.
I think that I am the only person that could ever make a movie like this that is worth watching. You're so right. I shouldn't talk myself down like this.
Exactly. Believe in yourself.
I am the greatest filmmaker to ever exist. You're so right.
We have got Stanley Kubrick, the director, and J.R.R. Tolkien, the writer.
You know what? We can just cut out the last 10 minutes of this.
No, I don't. You're not. You're not the main host of the podcast. It's Rhys and I.
This is actually a great time for me to tell you that I have been hired to edit all of their podcasts from now on,
dear.
and I will cut out anything that I want cut out.
You will just cut out anything that's not you talking.
Anything that is Kane.
Oh,
wow. Cut him right out.
Can we get her out?
It's just Charli and I talking.
Can we get her off the set?
I actually cut you out as well. It's just me talking to myself.
Get her off the set.
And to think that it all started with a kissing booth.
But yes, no, that's actually true.
And don't forget to check out our Facebook page at Marathon Me Official, all one word, and our Instagram, marathonme_official, to keep up to date on the podcast. And hey, if you want to get into contact with us, email us at marathonmepodc, yes, the letter C, @gmail.com. Like podcast without the ask.